You take the biggest bite of your life. 3 seconds later, it hits. Not your mouth, your forehead. Your tongue isn't even cold yet. It hasn't even started to melt. But your skull is throbbing anyway. So what is actually happening back there? Doctors noticed this pattern so often that they gave it a real medical name. In the 1980s, it went into the books as sphenopalatine ganglioneuralgia. You just call it brain freeze. Here's the setup. The roof of your mouth is loaded with blood vessels, way more than a patch of skin that size should ever need. Your brain runs hot, working non-stop, like a machine that never gets to power down. That tissue up there helps cool it, even while you're shoveling in something freezing. So the instant intense cold slams into it, your body panics. It reacts like it's under attack. The vessels constrict, hard and fast, then rebound wide open almost instantly. That violent swing sends a jolt straight into the trigeminal nerve, one of the biggest nerves in your face. Questions that sound simple and turn out not to be are the whole business of the smart side. Here's the twist. That same nerve also covers your forehead. One nerve, 2 locations, and no way to tell them apart. So when the signal floods in, the brain reads it wrong. It assumes the pain is coming from the forehead, because that's a location the same nerve normally reports on. Doctors call it referred pain, and it's the exact same glitch behind a heart attack feeling like arm pain instead of chest pain, or a bad gallbladder feeling like shoulder pain. Your wiring has always worked this way. You just never had a reason to notice it until a spoonful of ice cream lit it up. If your brain lying to you about where it hurts is messing with your head a little, tap that like button right now. Costs you nothing. And it tells YouTube to put this in front of someone else who needs their mind bent today. Now here's the part that actually helps. Brain freeze is gone in 10 to 20 seconds, maybe a full minute if you really committed to that bite. And there's a real fix, not folklore. Press your tongue to the roof of your mouth, or sip something warm instead. Warmth floods the vessel network, the vessels widen back to normal, and the false alarm just stops firing. That's the whole trick. Cool the roof of your mouth down fast enough, and your forehead stops throbbing right along with it, because it was never the forehead's pain to begin with. But here's where it gets strange. Scientists actually use this glitch on purpose. Because brain freeze is safe, fast, and completely controllable, researchers study migraines with it. They give volunteers a headache they can trigger on command in a lab. No drugs, no needles, no expensive equipment. Just a cold drink and a stopwatch. They watch blood vessels constrict and rebound on a scan. Then compare that pattern to what happens during a real migraine attack. It turns out the mechanics overlap enough that brain freeze works as a stand-in. The same constrict and rebound swing shows up in both, just louder and longer in a real migraine. That means researchers can study the opening seconds of a vascular headache on demand, instead of waiting weeks for one to strike naturally, or hoping a migraine patient happens to walk into the lab mid-attack. Real migraine data, without a single migraine, and without the guesswork that comes from chasing a headache nobody can schedule. That's not the only place this glitch shows up either. Ever notice how biting into something painfully cold too fast hits harder than sipping it slowly? Speed matters, because the vessels need time to react gradually instead of all at once. That's also why kids get hit worse than adults on average. Their trigeminal nerve sits closer to the surface, so the signal has less distance to travel before it reaches a brain still learning to sort out where anything actually hurts. That's the part that should stick with you. One of the most annoying feelings in the world, the kind that ruins a hot afternoon and a good cone, turned out to be one of the easiest ways to study a much scarier problem. A problem that normally can't be scheduled, can't be triggered safely, and can't be watched happening in real time on command. Ice cream solved that. You made it this far, so hit subscribe before you go. It's free, it takes 2 seconds, and it means you catch the next one of these before it disappears into the feed. So next time it happens, mid-bite, forehead throbbing, spoon still in your hand, you'll know the truth. It's not your mouth panicking. It's not your forehead actually breaking down. It's one nerve misreporting a location, while a scan somewhere is quietly learning from the same signal. Your forehead was never the problem. It was just the messenger.